This video is going to talk about place value. So we're going to go through this a little bit quicker maybe, hopefully. When we look at place value, is that card in the correct spot? The answer is no. The spot that card is above is the hundreds place value. The ones place value is right here. And an easy way that I like to think about this is if I ask you for $1, you would put 1, and that 1 is in the ones place. If I ask you for $10, you would put a 1 in the tens place. If I ask you for $100, you would put a 1 in the hundreds place. If I ask you for $1,000, you would put a 1 in the thousands place. Those are just zeros. If I ask for $10,000, you would put a 1 in the 10,000s place. And if I'm not sure where a digit is, I'll put a 1 there and imagine everything else is 0, and I can see that the 5 is in the thousands place. So they want us to put all these cards in the correct place. Go ahead, take a minute to put this in order, and then let's talk about it. Welcome back. The ones is in the correct place. The tens should have been here. The hundreds should have been next to that. And then after that comes the thousands. And after that comes the 10,000s. Are these cards in the right place? So let's look. Ones, 1, yes. 10, yes. Hundreds, yes. Thousands. Looks pretty good to me. Are these cards in the right place? They shifted the ones away and they put tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. While tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s are in the correct order, the cards are not in the correct place because there is no ones place. This is missing. This doesn't exist, which means that all of these need to all be shifted over 1 place value to make room for our ones. Same thing here. Go ahead, figure out where that hundreds card should go, in between which two, and when you come back, we'll talk about it. Welcome back. So this 100 card should go right in between the 10 and the thousands. Where should this one go? Pause the video and we'll talk about it when you come back. Welcome back. The tens card should go in between the 1 and the 100 spot. Pause the video, try this one, and then we'll talk about it when you come back. Welcome back. Happens really fast, doesn't it? Let's look at where the thousands should go. It should go right after the hundreds and before the 10,000s. We have this big long number here, 23,989. They want you to find the place value of the digit 4 in each number. So I'll go ahead and underline each number 4. You go ahead, pause the video, and we'll talk about the place value when you come back. Welcome back. So if we look at that 24,001, the value of the 4 is actually going to be 4,000. You can also type this out. I'm not going to type everyone out right now. Where did it go? You can also type this out. It's 4,000. The value of this, all right, that's in the way. The value of the next 4 is 40,000, which would look like, nope, 40,000. Note the difference between 4,000 and 40,000. 4,000 only has 1 number before the comma. 40,000 has 2 numbers before the comma. The value in C is just 4. The value in D is 400, which is going to look like this, 400, and then the value in E is 40. That's a 0. And that 40 would just look like that. And if you're wondering about the 4, for the record, it would look like that. So here you can see place value. You can see ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. If you think about the way that numbers work, we have, well, I'm going to turn my screen, but that doesn't really help you. But if we have a number here, if we have that long number, 5,462,897, we're going to put the comma that's going to separate just the regular group of numbers from the thousands group of numbers to what's starting to be the millions. And continuing on the millions would be 10 million and then 100 million. So they want to know the place value of the digit 3 in each number. I'm going to go ahead and underline the digit 3 in each of these. And then I'm going to ask you to pause. I'm just going to write out the number. I'm not going to write out the words for the number, but I want you to go ahead and give this a shot, and we will talk about it when you come back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and look at the place value of 3 in each number. This is 300,000. This is 3,000. That's definitely a comma. This is 3 million. And you can see that pretty much all I'm doing is I'm replacing every other number with 0. This is 30. I could put all the zeros that are in the front of the number down also, but those numbers don't matter. If I ask you if you want $4 or $04, there's not going to be any difference between those. It's the same thing, which is why we don't bother to write all of those invisible zeros. The zeros on the end, though, if I ask you if you want $4 or $400, that makes a big difference. You're probably going to say $400 unless you know that my wallet's empty and then maybe only ask for 4. The value of E is 30,000. The value of F is 300, and the value of G is just 3. What's the place value of the digit 2? You're going to see that the place value, if we make every other number 0, is going to be 20,000, or the 100,000s. They want us to identify whether 5 or 3 is worth more in each number. Go ahead, pause the video, and when you come back, we'll talk about it. Welcome back. So we have a 3 and a 5 in this problem, and our 3 and 5 looking between the two. The 3 is in the higher place value, so the 3 is worth more. If we look over here, the 3 is in the higher place value than the 5. If we look over here, the 5 is in the higher place value. And if we look over here, between the 3 and the 5 is also in the higher place value. So to look at this, this would be 300 versus 50. This would be 30 versus 5. This would be 5,000 versus 30. And this would be 500 versus 3. You can see how the number that is more to the left has the higher place value. It doesn't matter which number's bigger, it matters where it sits in the larger number. So they want you to know which one's higher here, 3 or 5. We see 3, we see 5, we see 3. So now we have the number 1,312. They want to know what is the value of the first one in the number. So that first one in that number is 1,000. The value of the second one is going to be 10. So they want to know how many times as much as the second one is the first one worth. So basically, what do you have to multiply this 1 by, or this 10 by, to get 1,000? That's right, we have to multiply by 100, which means that 1,000 is 100 times as much as 10. Remember that when we multiply by 10, so if we have 3, I don't know why I'm using 3, that's the number that does not show up. Just skip all that. So let's say we have 4 times 1 is 4. 40 times 1 is 40. But I also know that 4 times 10 is 40. So when we look at this, when I add a 0 at the end of a number, when I shift things one place value to the left, it gets 10 times as big, and it doesn't matter where we add that 0 onto. So they want to know how many times as much is the second one from the first one. So basically 1 times what gets me this. So this is 1. The second number is 1,000. What do I have to multiply to get that? Well, 1 would end up being times 1,000. Let's look at this one. I have 1 and I need to get to 10. 1 times what equals 10? 1 times 10 equals 10. Now I have 1 and 100. What do I need to multiply 1 by to get 100? That's right, 100. And then I have 10 and I want to get to 1,000. 10 times what is 1,000? I've already got 1 0 on there. I need 2 more. So it's going to be 10 times 100. How many times as much as the first 3 is this, as the second 3 is the first 3 worth? So we're doing the same thing that we were doing before, except now we're doing it with 3s instead of with 1s. Go ahead and pause the video. When you come back, I'll give you a hint. And then when you come back again, we'll talk about it. Welcome back. Let's look at this hint. I have 30. They really like putting 3s on here. And then I have 300,000. What do I have to multiply by? Over here, I have 30 and I have 300. Over here, I have 3 and I'm trying to get to 300. And over here, I have 3 and I'm trying to get to 3 million. Go ahead, pause the video, check your work, or continue on with what I've just given you, and when you talk about it, we'll come back. Welcome back. So to go from 30 to 300,000, I've already got 1 0 that's taken, so I still have 4 more, so I need to multiply times 10,000. Excuse my extra comma there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and look at the next one, letter B. 30 times what is 300? Well, 30 times 10 is 300. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3 times what is 300? 3 times 100 is 300. 3 times what is 3 million? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 times a million is 3 million. They want us to determine how many places over the second 3 is from the, we've done that already. We're done. We've started to notice that pattern with zeros. You can see that because the 3 had to move 4 place values, there were 4 zeros. So they want us to now write each of these numbers in words. I'm going to ask, whoops, just kidding. I'm going to ask that you go ahead and give this a shot on your own. And when you come back, we'll talk about it. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at this. Let's see if we can't turn up. This is going to be 412. Don't like that. Whatever. 412 would, in theory, be on the same line, but whatever, we'll take what we can get. Let's look at the next one, 836. You can see that what I'm not doing is I'm not putting an and sign anywhere. When you say and in writing out numbers, what it actually means is it stands in the place of the decimal, or it tells you that there's going to be a fraction coming up. That's the only time that we use the and sign, the and word. The next one, 794. The one after that would be typing out. Thank you. 160. And then the last one that we have would be 703. Again, you can see that there is no and sign in any of these. It's just how many hundreds and then the final number. So we can see that the word thousand doesn't have an S. If we say 2,000, we just say 2,000, 4,000, 9,000. None of those actually have an S on the end. That's going to come up more when we talk about decimals because there's a thing called the thousandths place. But right now we're just talking about thousands. Or 2,000. How many thousands are in this number? Well, in this number, we actually have 17,000. And we say 17,000 because there's 1 7 before the comma. So that tells us there's 17,000. Now they want us to write these numbers using words. You can see that there's something in the thousands section, but there's nothing that comes in the ones. So this isn't going to be as difficult as maybe it first appears. Go ahead, do this on your own, and when you come back, we'll talk about it. Welcome back. So here, this first one, 17,000. The second one would be 20,000. The one after that, this one gets a little bit more challenging because there's something in 100,000's place, but we've got this. 489,000. So we put everything that's in the thousands place before we write down the number 1,000. And then the last one, 704,000. Now, if it was 740,000, it would look different. 740,000 would look like this. So it's very important that you pay attention to where the 0 is. How many thousands are in this number? We can see that there are 7 thousands, but you can also see that there's 7 in the thousands place value, but there are 17 thousands total. Now they want us to write these using words. Go ahead, pause the video, and when you come back, we'll talk about it. All right, welcome back. So, that first number is 23. And because it's in the thousands place, we're going to say 23,802. And that's the whole number. So we're just writing the same thing that first number before the commas, we write it out like it's not anything, and then we put the word thousands on it, and then we write out the second one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. 254,006. Let's take a look at where is it? There it is. Take a look at the next one. 30,109. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. 140,000. Oh, there, that 40 is coming in. 19. And then, of course, we come up to the very last one, probably the most challenging. 632,540. There you go. So we can see here that they start to talk about what I was talking about. We've got the ones, tens, hundreds, and that's all just the regular old ones place. Then we have thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, 10 billions, 100 billions. So you can see that they all have the word 10 in the second place and the word 100 in the third place. The main thing that changes is if it's a ones, thousands, 10,000s, or billions. That's why we put that comma in there, because the first one, 109, that's different from saying 109,000, or 109 million, or 109 billion. You get into really big numbers. This number is read as 3,456,720,603. So, how many billions are in this number down here? We can see 43. How many more millions? Well, we have 783 millions. We have 89 thousands. What makes this particular number hard to read? I'm going to give you a minute. You should probably notice that this number doesn't have our super convenient commas that are there after every 3 numbers. Those commas are what help us to have easy to read numbers, so it breaks it up so that we can see this is 729,000. These numbers are in the millions place. Those commas make a very big difference. Please use them. They want you to add these commas in the correct place and then write the number in word form. So when you add the commas, I'm going to give you a second to pause, then come back. Welcome back. When you have these commas in here, it's going to add these big numbers. And then for me to type this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, regulars, thousands, millions, billions. Awesome. Let's look at these billions. 87 billion, 301 million, 984,300, and rounding it all off with an 87. Cool. Let's go on. I'm going to go ahead and let you look through this. If you want to give it a shot, I highly encourage it. Please pause if you want to give this page a shot, or pause if you want to give this page a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, this video has gone a little bit long. I'm going to leave this here. Have a wonderful day.